my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your very first time joining me. In today's video we have swatches, a review, a tutorial on the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Pro Pigment Palette Volume 4. And I also have her Cakeliners with me today. I just have this one. I ended up creating this eye look for you guys and it came out super different and super fun. We have some bright pinks, some bright purples, and a pop of liner to really accentuate the whole look. If you're new to my channel, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell. I would love if you would stick around. I post every Tuesday and Friday, and be sure to follow my social medias up here. I post outfit of the day photos, makeup videos, selfies, all that fun stuff. And if you guys are interested in any of these products, they'll be linked in the description box. Let me know what you think of this palette, if you like it, if you don't like it, if you ordered it, if you're not going to order it, and all of that fun stuff. I love you guys so much, and let's go ahead and get started into the video. Okay, so as always, I want to start this review off with details on the palette, price, and all that stuff. So this is the NORVINA Pro Pigment Volume 4. This is personally my only one that I have tried from her new Pro Pigment eyeshadows, so I'm really excited to play with it. It says that it is limited edition and it's exclusive. It retails for $60. So in this palette, you do get 25 shades, and if you divide that by the price, you end up paying $2.40-something per pan. So this palette is vegan and cruelty-free. So it says that it is a professional grade artistry palette. It has high performance eyeshadows and pigments, and the color story of it is spring inspired. I'm gonna go ahead and insert swatches so you guys are able to see how the colors lay out and the way they work. Okay, so here on the first row we have A1, A2, A3, A4, and A5, and I really think all these colors are gorgeous. I love how they all go together, and they're super fairy-like and pretty and pink. I like it. All right, moving on to the next row, we have B1, B2, B3, B4, and B5, and I love how neutral these tones are, and they remind me of just fall, and I like how rustic the vibes are, kind of like modern Renaissance. So I really like this row, and they swatch really, really nicely. All right, so here we have the third row. We have C1, C2, C3, C4, and C5. This is by far my favorite row. I'm addicted to purples and pinks, so I love how all these go together, and I just love how beautiful they all look. Moving on to the next row, we have D1, D2, D3, D4, and D5. And D2 is such a beautiful like lemon green. It's so unique. I really can't wait to use this color. I think it's so beautiful. All right, so moving on to this last row, we have E1, E2, E3, E4, and E5, and those are beautiful sparkles. They're not chunky. They are so beautiful. I am excited to play with these on my face and on my eyes. Now that you've seen the swatches, I had no problem swatching any of the colors. They were beautiful shimmers, there were mattes, there were sparkles. I loved the different formulas and the different textures that was featured in this palette. I think that it was an amazing array of colors. If you know me and you know my channel, you know these are my colors. I always tend to go for purple and pink palettes. It's just something that is my favorite thing to work with, and I'm really excited to play with this palette. Kind of reminds me of the Bloodlust palette by Jeffree Star just a little bit, but nothing too similar to where I'm like, oh, it's copied at all. I personally always look up to a NORVINA as an amazing businesswoman, and her creative mind is literally insane. I have followed her for years, and I love the whole Anastasia brand. I have always said that I think that they're high-end, but affordable high-end. They're not too crazy expensive, and you always get amazing quality. So I have, you know, nothing but high hopes for this palette and what it's going to bring to me. And not to mention, I love the packaging. It's super sturdy. I love just the way it looks, and I'm obsessed with hearts and the word love. So like just having a heart for the O in NORVINA I think is beautiful. And I wouldn't change one thing about this palette color wise. I think there is a perfect just array of colors, everything I would think of for a springtime look. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started into the eyeshadow. Okay, so I did zoom you guys in just a tad bit so you're able to see the color pigments a lot better and closer up. First thing I'm going to use is my P. Louise eyeshadow base in the shade 01. I'm just going to squirt this on the back of my hand and go ahead and apply it to my eyelids. You guys, I totally forgot to mention, I also have the Cakeliners, and this is in the electric pink, yellow, and an electric lime. I love the packaging of these. I love how they're magnetic and they swivel around. I think it's so cool. I did just place an order for the other colors as well. It's like a purple, orange, and white. They weren't available at the same time, so I could only pick up one. But I'm gonna try and use these today and get creative. I'm gonna go ahead and dip into A4 for just a neutral defined crease. Just going to lightly carve out my lid with this and set a tone for me to work with. So as you can see, I didn't do anything too crazy with that A4 color. I do this a lot on my eyeshadow looks. I just like to have a starting point. The next shade I'm going to dip into is E1, and I'm just going to also go ahead and define my crease with this shade. I think I want to do a bit of a pink purple eyelid and a green like fun inner corner. I've never done something like that, and I'm feeling super inspired by this palette, and that's kind of the look I want to go for. And I'm just going to go right over that neutral color and really try to keep it in this exact place of my crease. So there is one layer of that color. These two colors are blending super well together. I'm having no problems. All right, so here's what we have so far. I think we should also go into some purple. So I'm gonna use A3, again, going in with the same brush. I feel like sometimes using the same brush can be super beneficial because you're making sure all the colors look beautiful and blended together. If you want to do sort of a color block eyeshadow look, I would definitely recommend changing brushes. But for me, I love, using the same brush. I'm just gonna start placing this in the outer corner out here. Now I'm just going in with my bling brush E3 from the Rose Gold set. I'll link these down below. You guys can use code GORIA for 10% off if you're interested. And I'm just going to go over both and just make sure all of the colors that I have been using are blended evenly because I want it to be super even and super ombre. I always find that looking down in a small mirror helps me see if there's any patches or anything like that, and everything looks super smooth on my lids. So now I'm taking my E15 from the Starry Nights collection, again from Bling Brushes, and I think I'm going to dip into the shade C2 just a little bit and also start putting this on the outer corner. Just gonna place it right here and really like work this right here in this area, not blowing it out like I have in the other colors. Keep in mind these are also pressed pigments, so they are going to stain your lid whether you use a eyeshadow primer or not. That is just the beauty of, having really pigmented and nice working eyeshadows. I'm just going in for a second layer and just packing this. And then I'm just gonna use that same E3 and just make sure it's blended out here. All right, you guys, so here we have the look so far, just super pink and just pink. I still want to deepen up the outer area because I'm not liking how bright it is in the outer corner. So I'm gonna go into E4, which is a really pretty burgundy color. And I'm really just gonna take this on the very outer edge of my eye, just to add more depth. Looking straight ahead and then blending might also help the placement of it. Okay, yeah, for me that color definitely tied in the whole look and just deepened it up a lot more. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and go into the shimmer, and I still want to use the shade A2. I'm just gonna pack this on my brush and apply this to the inner half of my eye. I feel like I shouldn't need any sort of setting spray for this, so we're gonna see how it works. So I'm not gonna dip into any sort of setting spray. I'm just gonna apply it right now and just see how it looks. Wow, that is so beautiful. Also, I don't have any sort of fallout on my under eye since I do have my actual makeup on, so I'm loving that. I do want to go ahead and apply some setting spray to it just to see how much more pigmented it could be, so I'm gonna go get some real quick. So I'm just gonna spray the brush with a little bit of setting spray and then now apply it and see how it looks. Okay, yeah, definitely add setting spray. Not that it was bad without it, but if you want more pigment, the setting spray will do the trick. I just love the way that it's catching the light and really brightening up that inner corner. I'm also gonna build it a little with my finger, which also does help the pigment. You can see how much more intense it is. Okay, so here we have it so far. I really love that shimmer. I think it's so insanely pretty. Super like extraterrestrial. I really like it. Just reminds me of space. I do want to use these, but I'm not sure that any of these colors are really going to go with this look as much as D2 and the palette would. I'm just trying to decide. I actually think the pink would be really pretty. So for these liners, you're going to want to take water and wet it, and then you're going to want to mix it and then go ahead and apply it. Okay, so I do have a tiny amount of water with me right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it in here. I literally just have like one small drop, and I'm going to use this brow brush to kind of get the edge because I want the slant to do the liner. I'm just kind of mixing it around in here. Whoa, that's like super neon. We're just gonna do it because I think it'll be really fun just on the outer edge of the eye. I've never worked with colors like this, so I'm a little scared. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place this out here. I'm so scared, oh my gosh. This could really make or break this whole look. Okay, so I ended up just making a full-on neon pink line, and I actually like the way it looks. I was definitely a little scared, but I think it makes the whole like eye look come together. I do think I applied a little too much water because it is a little watery for what I think this liner would be, but I really love the way it looks like as just a line. I'm kind of proud of myself because I've never worked with colors like this before. I'm normally like super neutral, so this is definitely different but exciting. I'm getting it all over my lashes though. Okay, so I made sure I took the liner in far enough on the inner corner of my eye to really accentuate it. I'm even gonna bring it down a little bit more. A little bit of this liner does go a super long way, so I would say be super careful with the way you apply it because you can always go back and add more, but you can never take away. So I'm just going over it again to make it even more neon. So there it is with 2 coats. You can see all the little taps from like taking a little bit off at a time. Guys, have to have a steady hand for this. I'm not even someone who does liner. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and let that dry, and now we're gonna move on to the lower lash line. I don't know if you guys are really able to see how that looks. I do have a lot on my lashes like down here, but it'll go away with mascara. I really do love the way this works. Like, it works super well, super easy to work with, and it's drying down super quickly. I would say even just a tiny drop is still too much water, so be careful with the amount you apply, because the more watery it is, the harder it's going to be to work with. So moving on to the lower lash line, the first shade I'm going to take is A4 on my bling brush E14 from the Starry Nights collection, and just sweep this from outer corner to inner corner. Not going to do too much except just kind of set that tone and base where to work. Now I'm going to go in with the bling brush E6 from the silver set, and I'm going to take this shade right here and take this from outer corner to inner corner as well. I'm just kind of patting this up in that under eye. Using the same brush, I'm going to take A3 and do the same exact thing. I'm just basically repeating the colors that we used up here. Now I'm going to go in with C2 and just keep this on the outer parts. And now we're going to take E4 on this little Morphe brush and keep this just on the outer edge, right about here, just so we can tie in the whole look. I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes and apply my mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, so for mascara, I use the Anastasia Lash Brag and the Glossier Lash Slick. I'll link those 2 mascaras down below. Before I forget, let's put something on the inner corner of the eye. I originally wanted to do like a chartreuse yellow, but I feel like it's gonna mess the look up, and I don't wanna like go in with D2 and then not like it. So I really feel like we should just go in with like a nice shimmer. Maybe E2 because it is glitter. So I put E2 on this brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and spray it because it's a glitter and I want it to be minted on the inner corner of my eye. Okay, so here we have the finished look. I love it. I have no complaints. I love the way it came together. I feel super creative, and I love that I did something different. I use makeup to express how I feel, and I am feeling vibrant today. I rate this palette a 10 out of 10. It performed literally so amazingly. Like, everything blended well. It was super fun to work with, and this is just gonna be like my new palette. I know it. I feel it in my bones. I do want to create more looks with it, so if you guys want to see more looks with it, I would be more than happy to do that. So please let me know down below and give me ideas of what colors to use for my next look. I am just super in awe of how this turned out. I'm really loving it, and I think it is like just my favorite look I've created so far. What I also like about it is now I feel inspired to do more of these really fun looks, and that is the whole point of makeup. It's to inspire you to be creative and do something different, and I genuinely feel it from this palette and these like liners. Like, these are the products that I look for when I think of makeup. Really high quality pigments, amazing blendability, good price for what you get, and it leaves you with a good feeling to want more. This whole collection is amazing. I'm really obsessed with it. I can't wait to get the other liners, and I also can't wait to get her other palettes, because now that I know this one is so amazing, I'm definitely going to be getting her other ones as well. The new Anastasia Beverly Hills Pro Pigment Palette Volume 4 and Cakeliners are approved by me. I love them so much, and I really can't wait to continue use of them. I love you guys so much. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, click the bell, and follow my social medias, which are up here. I post selfies on Instagram and fun things like that. I'm really trying to build my Instagram right now, so I'd appreciate it if you join me over there. I love you guys so much. Have an amazing rest of your day. Pick up this palette if you've been wanting it. It is 100% worth every penny you spend on it. I'm really just like so over the moon about it. I think this is my favorite review I've ever done. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my very next video. Mwah. Bye guys.